Now, news just coming into us from Iraq, where the president says the Prime Minister has agreed to stand down if the right replacement can be found. That's after thousands of protesters returned to the streets, renewing their demands for reform. They blame the government for corruption, unemployment and poor public services. It follows demonstrations on Wednesday where one protester was killed, dozens injured, when security forces tried to disperse the crowds in Baghdad. Well, let's go now to Baghdad. Our correspondent, Natasha Ghoneim, is joining us live from there. Natasha, you were saying that we were expecting to hear from the president, and in the last few moments we've heard he's saying the Prime Minister has agreed to stand down if the right replacement can be found.
Actually, the Iraqi President Barham Salih has begun speaking, and from what we understand, and forgive us, it's obviously a chaotic environment here in Tahrir Square. What we're hearing actually is that the president is saying that he will not call for early elections until a new election law is drafted. So until that election law is drafted, elections will not be held. We're also hearing that that the president has showing solidarity with the protesters and reiterating that they are not using excessive force. What we have not heard, and again, maybe our information is a bit slow, but we have not heard the president say that Prime Minister Adil Abdul-Mahdi has stepped down, and that, of course, is the one thing that the protesters want. They want him to step down and call for elections in the next 60 days. What you're seeing now is a real battle that has been going on in the parliament. The Iraqi president had been meeting with the leaders of political parties since yesterday to try to come to some sort of agreement. It's actually a week since last Thursday night, protesters began occupying Tahrir Square, and as you can see, the numbers day to day, the numbers only keep increasing. Since Friday, the Iraqi Human Rights Commission says about 100 people have been killed. Right now, though, there is a lot of maneuvering going on in the parliament, and as one political analyst tells us, what you're seeing is members of parliament and their parties are trying to, quote, preserve their interests, maintain their power, and preserve their perks. And some of these perks get right down to the heart of the matter as to why these protesters are so upset. Some of these perks include top-notch health care that involves plastic surgery abroad. There were notable cases, Elizabeth, that sparked a lot of outrage here. Meanwhile, there is no health care for the poor and the unemployed. Another perk that politicians have is very generous pensions, 80% of their salary, while the average government worker gets about $300 or $400 a month with a pension once they retire. So again, unless the people here have news that Mahdi is stepping down, I do not think we're going to see anyone emptying out of Tahrir Square anytime soon.
Natasha, thank you very much for that update on this developing story out of Iraq for us. For now, that's Natasha Ghoneim live in Baghdad. Thank you.